Bang. Hello. We'll cut to the chase. I got some people working on some stuff in the other room, so it's kind of noisy. I didn't really want to come on the air. But we're in the process of doing something that has not been done in a long time. The market's going down. I know. And it's fantastic. And we caught most of this QQQ short. I'm not in it right now because I kind of I was hoping to see it try to rally one more time and then roll again, because the roll, that finger of God, is where the fear kicks in, because everyone's used to the market getting bought on every dip. So then when it doesn't, people are alarmed by it, which they should be. It's about time. And again, let me get the rest of these charts going. But if they start hammering and doing stuff in the background, I don't really want to talk over that. Everything that I've been waiting for showed up, right? And still the market refused to go down in September and October. The only thing left for the market to do was an ironic sell-off. And that's what I think this is. It's ironic, right? September's supposed to be nasty, the worst month of the year. And what do? We had one down day. Rosh Hashanah, the Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur trade, where he's supposed to be the weakest, he had one down day. So then people thought, all right, well, if we maybe September was strong, but maybe October will be that crazy month like we've seen. And they start talking about how it was the anniversary of the crashes, and what happened? Nothing. And then the government shut down. Nobody cared. So then it got to the point where, like, hey, I guess we may never have a sell-off. And then we entered the most bullish time of the year. And the only thing left was just maybe we'll have an ironic sell-off because now we're going into the most bullish time of the year. Wouldn't it be ironic if the market actually got weak? Now, if you want to, call this a weak market, again, this is just profit taking, right? And the way I look at it is that this is the confirmation of the Oracle trade, and I think it's going to get a lot worse. Because if you don't know, the Oracle trade was what got me bearish in the first place, but it was just ill-timed. Oracle, to me, was the most ridiculous gap in the history of trading. And if you guys remember, here we go. If you remember the Oracle trade, right? Kind of like what Palantir did, but Oracle it was like a slow motion crash. Just the most, again, if you guys watch Oracle, the market cap alone on that gap was, I think, unprecedented. The fact that this stock had already been up 100% and then tacked on another 30, I think it was a 35% gap on an earnings report. And then within a day, you had a bearish engulfing candle and then a test of that high, and then it rolled over. And this is what I call the Jerry Orbach. It gave it all back. Jerry Orbach, the underappreciated actor of a generation, Jerry Orbach. So as this stock started to sell off, and again, this was on September 10th, obviously the market didn't want to go down. The market didn't want to go down. But this stock has held me in this limbo where I just thought that we just needed one more catalyst. And I believe the catalyst was the Palantir. And now that this stock has given back the entire move, this represents what I believe is about to happen on the Qs, or is happening on the Qs. We're just going to Jerry Orbach that last froth, right? I'm not saying even back there right now we just got to the monthly. Wham. That's the easy part. Now we'll consolidate here, but if we lose this and we're doing something we haven't seen in a while, actually going down to test prior lows. So we're here now, right? That's the overnight low. So you don't see that on the chart. You got to go into the minute chart and you have to see the overnight lows. We just flirted with the overnight low, right? So again, let's talk about what happened here. Hey, by the way, I'm on the internet. If you guys want to watch me on the TV thing. Just talking about the cues. So yesterday, because we didn't get over prior day high, I still was mildly bearish. Well, then again, I'm always mildly bearish. But now I'm feeling like, hey, I'm onto something. So this morning when I was telling you, hey, I'm going short because the stock market just had the blow off top candle, roll over, break VWAP. And my target was basically that orange line. And that's a 10-point trade. So you can't take the money from me because I already took it. So now that I'm not short, I'm hoping we get a nice sucker rally like we did yesterday. Sucker into thinking everybody sucking that's going to be the end of that bearish move. And then we're going to do this. And this is where I think we're going. And I hope I'm right. And I think it might happen tomorrow or Monday. And again, all this commentary right now, irrelevant, because we'll always, I'm preparing for some stuff, but usually we just go right back to our go-to trade. All right, hang on. I'll be right back. All right. Thank you. All right, and we're back. That was an easy installation. So, yeah, now that we got, again, I just think we're going to just froth this, just get rid of the froth. And that's 594.65 area. That's your 3-month VWAP. The generational low is right here. So where we broke out and we tested it, that's the 584. So let me show you that. So 3 months, you go back 6 months, grab 6 months of VWAP. You're right at 5. This is the 568 area. I think we could get into the middle right here. But if we get 15 or 20 points on the Q short in the next couple of days, I don't really care what happens after that, because that's the money I want. And I think we're going to get it. But, going back to what we do for a living, we trade earnings reversals. There was some good trades today. Again, I chose poorly. I guess I went with the strong ones looking for some selling. Luckily I was able to get out quickly. I showed a data dog right here. It broke VWAP, but again, faux show. I immediately had to cover because you don't want to be on the other side of the fake out shakeout. But I did cover, it wasn't a bad trade, but you're shorting a $185 stock. You're thinking you're going to make at least 5 points. We wound up making about $1. Ion Q, I chose kind of poorly on this one too, but, I got blue line to orange line earlier, got paid, was forced to get out. Just a lot of chop there. I almost got hammered on short and sedge, right here. I was thinking about shorting it, and then it got rejected at the VWAP. Was about to short it. Next thing you know, it's ripping. Didn't short it. Didn't get hurt. And then you had Dash, which normally I'm not shorting stocks that are gap down, so I avoided this one, but it was a great short. Got involved in a late long here, and again, I was a little bit late on all my trades today, so I had very tight stops. got something out of it because, the entries was still all right. 203.5. You got up to 205.5. But every one of these trades, there was nothing left to milk. You had to get out. And even the Qs, got short. And during this chop right here, that was the fake out shakeout. There's no way I'm allowing myself to be faux showed. And I wound up covering 617.30, 617.50. And then it rolled over. I'm not in it right now. Some of us are. And then you have Myrna, which is on right now, I believe. Some of us are short because we got ourselves a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. This one's pretty good. And if you guys have been following along, we're building an algorithm in the background to do all these trades for us. It's going to be awesome. So right now we're experimenting with it. We're teaching the computer how to do these trades, how to scale out. My partner and I, we've been developing this trade forever. And now we got some other help with our buddy Mike. And here's a trade that was very disappointing because the algorithm didn't pick it up. Look at this monster. That's the hood short. So again, that trade that I described that works every single time, there it is. It's the 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal on earnings report. Now, why didn't the algo pick this up? Because the algorithm is just looking at VWAP after 9:30 or at 9:30. It never was over the VWAP. So the algorithm, because it's just a stupid computer, doesn't know that, hey, this thing's rolling over, let's get short, and it missed this entire trade. See, that's where humans are still better at this, even though you want to be like a computer. Sometimes a computer, if you don't program it, because this began in the pre-market, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. But if you know about the reversal, once the stock opened up and started going red, you just hammer it. So it kind of missed that one. You had Rivian, right? This one is the easiest one of the day because, again, when I say easy, it's because of the chart patterns that showed up. So if you were looking for a reason to short it, you want to see it go up first, right? Because that's the finger, the knuckle. It's the inverse of the faux show bro, right? So it's a rollover or a finger of God. The F5 Hurricane, I stole that from the Twister. And then it goes destroys in the town down here. But you're going, here's your finger of God, rolls over, and then confirmed by the VWAP and the prior day VWAP, and then breaking the low, you got yourself the 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. This trade has not failed in over 4 years. And if you just keep taking these trades and you stay disciplined, like Snap short, as much as I like it, I don't know why I have like this thing about Snap. I don't know, it makes me laugh. I like Snap. But if you were looking for a reason to short it, you got paid out of the gate. And then if you were still looking for a reason to short it, there it is. Breaks that new little recent high, rolls over, breaks the pivot down to the multi-day. This is not a monster trade, but when you could do trades like this where you're risking, no joke, you're risking 3 whole cents to make yourself 30. You take the trade, right? 1,000 shares, you're risking $30, you make 300. Not bad. I mean, Clove was awesome yesterday. Same type of trade on Clove yesterday, if you guys remember. You don't have to be a hero, right? Faux show bro, you're buying here at 270. Your risk was here, 5 cents. And then if you guys remember, this was the trade of the year. Not monetarily. I mean, you could have, you bought 1 million shares of it. The idea that this stock proved that the market's rigged. And like I say every day, we're not here to debate about that anymore, right? So this chart pattern right here is everything that you need. Faux show bro on an earnings report breaks VWAP. Buy it. The fake out shakeouts, right, are usually your stop. But if there's a fake out and a shakeout nearby, you could just use that as your stop, which is why you only risked a nickel on this trade, 10 cents tops. But what is important here, my friends, is that the Clove trade told you where to get in and exactly where it was going to go. And it just didn't go there. It went there to the penny. To the penny. 270 entry, 302 exit. Have a nice day. And that represents why Kenny Glick will never own a stock ever again for more than a day or two. Maybe never even do that, because these trades work every day. They're easy to understand. There's plenty of opportunity, and you don't have any overnight risk. It's not about what these companies are doing, how much money they're going to make, and whether or not we're in a bull market or a bear market or interest rates or the president or any of that stuff. You live in the moment, and the moment is ours. And it's, to me, the only way to do this. And if you are trading, you could take these trades and extrapolate them into futures trading, options trading, and of course, cryptocurrency works with this stuff as well. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm a little disappointed I'm not short the Qs right now, but I made the money. I took the money, and I was hoping for a little rebound to short again. I'm not getting it. And I do think I'm going to have to short them. And again, I really don't want to short them here at 11:30. I'm going to hold out. If it starts to tank without me, so be it. I think I'll get another chance at it. But the Palantir and the Oracle, this is the same exact moment we had the last time we sold off in late July / the beginning of August. We had a blow off top in Reddit, blow off top in Carvana, and then what was the culmination? Blow off top in Apple, and we actually got the market to sell off for 3 or 4 days, right? It's exactly what we're doing right here. It's not a bear market, a bull market. I don't need to know what's going to happen next. I know what's happening now. And I'm planning a little bit for what's going to happen next. So I'm hoping, again, that the market tries to rally and then it rolls just like it's done 3 times today. And again, if you were with me in the morning with JC, you heard me putting on this short right there live at 6:24. Just a little blow off top candle, VWAP break, prior day VWAP. You got yourself a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal on the Qs. Trade doesn't fail. And that's it. And that's the way I'm going to stay. Again, I'm over the bull market bullshit. The momentum stocks are all getting hammered. And when the dust settles, we'll go back to looking at Andy Dufresne's. Hopefully the market gets slaughtered, and then we go sideways for a little while, because then the sideways action creates all these wonderful trades that Straza and I have been finding for the last 2 years, these bases. And then they break out of those bases, and the shorts are on the wrong side, and we start the bull market all over again. But right now, it's living in the moment, and the moment is glory. What? I don't know. I'm having a good time. You? I'm having the best time right now. You guys having a good time? Speaking of a good time, who's coming to Vegas? No schmooze tonight, speaking of not a good time. I don't have any beloved stocks, my friend, except for Tesla. And I will be buying Tesla back. If the market crashes, that'll be the first stock that I buy back. And I mean crash. This thing has to go down, what was it, 285? You give me some Tesla at 285, I'm in. Speaking of that, Palantir crashes down to 120, I'm definitely in. That's a big fall from here. But you know what? If this market does correct, those are the levels that we probably go to. If anybody doesn't think Palantir can't give up another 50 points, it's just a stack. You can do whatever it wants, right? But part of the reason I don't really need to trade, right, Oh no, earnings reversals are all working. They're all working. Yeah, the ones that reversed worked. You just don't want to strong. You just don't want to short strong stocks. I mean, the snap trade's working perfectly, right? Blue line, orange line, done. So now you cover some. You put your stop at 812. Sure. Can you find value in my group? Yes. I am the most valuable group there is. There is no group more valuable than our group. We do everything, and it's an ongoing, lifelong symposium. I realistically haven't spent this much time talking in 10 years. And I used to I'd be in the chat room all day, but I would only do for like 2.5 hours. And then the market would kind of go sideways and I would just fade away and just leave. Sometimes I'd even trade the afternoon. 2025 has changed the game. I've never seen a market this active. Even the boring days are active. But when you start to spend some time with us, remember, if you could learn how to day trade, you could take that trade and do anything with it. The faux show bro works on all time frames. Blow off tops work on all time frames. That's why Oracle was one of the only times I was actually swing trading a short, because it was a blow off top and I really didn't think it was going to fall at least 30 points. I didn't make the full 100, but crushed this thing, got paid, missed this last rollover, but again, you're not going to be in every trade perfectly. But what it's done for me, this Oracle and Palantir is really giving me the idea that I'm onto something finally. It'll be short-lived as always, but all I need is a couple of days, because the market tends to give back in chunks. So I think we got 2 more chunks to go, and then it'll be over. I could help anybody make money. Yeah, because the trade, it transcends all time and space. This trade that we have, that we do every day, it always shows up and it continues to work. And when they don't work, it's limited losses. That's the key. When they don't work, limited loss. Now, when I say limited loss, that means that you have to take the loss. That's why traders fail. For instance, Jimmy. If you've heard this story, I'll give you. Jimmy was another lunatic that we had work trading for us once. But Jimmy would only hear part of the story, right? Jimmy would hear, hey, I'm buying this stock. I think it's going here. And then something would change. And then Jimmy would say, but I thought you said the stock's going to $30. Yeah, I know. I said that like 2 days ago. And now it's breaking prior day VWAP and it's a blatant short. I'm shorting it. I'm selling it and I'm going short. And Jimmy said, but 2 days ago, you said the stock was going to 50. I know, Jimmy. That was 2 days ago, 2 whole freaking days ago. And now the whole world has changed. And the funny thing, Jimmy was so passionate about listening to me when it was an up trade. And then suddenly I changed. I said, Jimmy, I don't like this stock anymore. Not only do I not want to own it, but I think it's a good short. And Jimmy didn't want to hear that. Jimmy did not want to hear that. All he wanted to hear was the first part of the story, no matter how many times I explained it to him. And so Jimmy watched the stock that I told him to buy at $17 that went to 30, but I was convinced it was going to go to 50, but then it had a blow off top and an earnings reversal. And I tried to explain to Jimmy that the trade might be over and we need to dump the name and possibly go short, even because that's how bad it looks now. But Jimmy only heard one part of the story. And Jimmy let that stock go from $27 to $5. And he still curses me online every once in a while in my video. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? You still in the yext? Yeah, Jimmy. But my point here with the Jimmy story is that we're all Jimmy. We're all Jimmy when it comes to your money. Right? Especially, let's say we do get an earnings reversal where it's complete fail. And you're sitting there going, wait a second. Isn't this the trade that never fails? And you just sit there like, well, Kenny said this never fails. I'm just going to wait for it to get better. That's how you blow your account up. That's how you blow up your life. No matter what, the trade is the trade. You put your trade on. You have your reasons. You have your stops. You have your targets. Every trade is exactly the same. The reason most people fail is that they don't want to accept that it's not working. And that's why I love day trading, because I'm in the moment. Is it working right now? No. Get out of the way. Right? Like this morning, Palantir was a really, really nice long trade. And I was pretty damn excited about it. I got a faux show bro at prior day VWAP break. Me and Jimmy are rocking. But then it breaks the VWAP. The trade's over, Jimmy. It's over. But I thought you said it was going to 192.50. I did. I know who said it. I'm the one who said it. And it really did look like it was going to go to 192.50 there, Jimmy. But then it broke VWAP. And I don't fuck with VWAP, Jimmy. VWAP told me to get the hell out of the way and possibly go short. But Jimmy's up here going, but you said it was going to 192.50. That's trading. Me not being short the Qs right now, I'm freaking Jimmy right now. I stink. I've been waiting for this move for 6 months, and now I'm not even short the Qs. I'm repulsed. Because I'm waiting for a better shot. I'm waiting for a better price. So I don't feel like chasing a short. That's how you wind up losing money. But remember, the reason I'm telling these stories, it's not about, again, you could think something, and it's wonderful when the confirmation of your thought process gets confirmed by price action. Then you're in the groove. But I love being wrong, because I know that VWAP works, and VWAP is more powerful than anything I've ever seen, and it's pretty damn accurate. Like the other day, I was telling you about Netflix. I came in thinking I'm buying the shit out of Netflix, and by the way, it was a pretty good buy today. But the other day, I'm coming in, oh, Netflix, 10-for-1 split. This thing's going to rock. I can't wait to buy some Netflix. And I think that was like 4 or 5 days ago. And it did a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Well, Kenny, I thought you said that Netflix was going to be good today. But it's not. And we wound up shorting it. That's trading. And by the way, you want to see trading? Here's Sedge, right? I was wrong. I was wrong twice. And now the stock is telling me I'm right. Right? Wrong. I thought I was wrong. I was wrong short, too small. And again, I didn't even trade these, but I would have taken a loss here and another medium loss. And now the stock broke down, and then it did what you want to see it happen, right? Let's say you were thinking about shorting and then you missed it, kind of like what the Qs are doing right now. I was hoping to see another chance where they squeeze it and reject at VWAP so I get a better shot at it. It's kind of what I'm doing right now. That's why I'm not short the Qs. I was hoping for a move up so then I could short the roll like I've done twice today. But now we're not getting the attempt to rally. And by the way, if anybody is shorting solars, they're all rolling over now. I was just a little early on the idea. And if you are short Snap, you got a big portion of this trade is over now. You want to be covering here at 8. And then you're just using 8. It's basically 8.17 on the rest was the pivot from earlier, right? 8.15. No, it's the bottom of this candle. I think it was 8.17. 8.16. Sorry, 8.16. So now you don't want to cover any more of it, right? Because now you're on the cusp of a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal, right? So you can't cover all of it because you have to wait to see. Because if it breaks the orange line, you're probably going down a little bit more. So that was 5 days. There you go. So you're looking for 5. If you get through if you go through 793, that's when you're going to start looking from where it came way back yesterday. So what do? Right? You take money, put it in your pocket, just like the casino, right? You're sitting there, you're on a run at the blackjack table. You don't keep pushing. You don't keep doubling and doubling like my uncle. When he hits, he does really, really well, or he gives it all back. My father, who gambles well, I guess if you make some money, you put some in your pocket. Now you're playing with house money. You win something, you put it in your pocket. Now you've locked into a profit. Whatever happens now on the table, you're in. And then he gets a free room and complains about something, and he gets free drinks and T-shirts and hats. And my dad should write a book. If it's free, it's for me. So right now, people, I think we're on the precipice of a Jerry Orbach trade on the entire market. And we're in the middle of it right now. I'm looking minimum 20 more points to the Qs to the downside. And then if that doesn't hold, we're going full Monty 585. If 585, if the 582.50, 585 area doesn't hold, oh boy. So we're going to go from what is the most bullish time of the year to the most bearish time of the year in no time. But more importantly, if you are short the snap, congratulations, you have achieved VWAP gold status. Congratulations, you can come to the lounge. I mean, it's all about trading these. It's just all about trading these setups, and sometimes you got to revisit the setup that didn't work earlier. Like I should have shorted the sedge, missed it. Should have got back in the Qs, missed it. Didn't even short the snap. There's so much going on. So each day, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put everybody in front of all these ideas. Some people don't want to short $600 stocks like I do. People don't want to short at all. Today's not a good day if you're not shorting something because there was plenty of opportunity to short. But what was the other trade? Dash. It was really the only long trade. Took a little bit. Lucid was a long, but that turned out to be very short-lived. And obviously Palantir was a long, but if you didn't get out of that, you got hammered. Which is, to me, Palantir is the entire market right now. And speaking of that, I do have revenge on the mind. If Carvana rolls over another day, I'm going to have to put some real money to work. I think you're getting 20 more points on a Carvana down to 272. It's about time the stock gives back even more. I know it's a monstrous sell-off already from highs. I just think you're getting another 25 to the downside. And I don't think it's going to hold this time. I think you're going to give another 60 points back on Carvana in the next couple of days. Big fan of shorting this thing because you finally broke some recent lows and you kind of got this. This is from last quarter. I'm thinking 20 more points. Easy. It's just a big reset. It's just the froth coming off the top, right? And here's what else we're going to do. UVXY, right? You understand how important it is now. That's what's making this sell-off different these last couple of days. UVXY is coming off lows, right? And it's pulling back and being held. It's in an uptrend. UVXY in an uptrend is the only time you could feel comfortable being short the market. And now if UVXY starts breaking prior day highs, oh baby. So if UVXY is above last week's highs, we're going to have a bloodbath tomorrow. Because as I was explaining, and maybe you haven't heard, nobody Nobody wants to see selling on Fridays. Selling on Fridays scares everybody because you're going into the weekend. Crashes tend to happen on Mondays. It's the first week moment we've had. Bad Thursday, bad Friday usually makes bad Mondays. So we got bad Thursday. And if we get what I want, I hope we rally, close on an uptick, gap higher tomorrow. And then if we start to roll over, there won't be anybody to support the market. And we'll have a big 20-point candle straight to hell. And it's going to be awesome. And if we're looking at, again, if we're looking at $12 UVXY tomorrow, the Qs are down 15 points. And after all that, right, chances are none of that's going to happen. And we'll just be buying the shit out of open. I'm telling you, that's the other side of the coin. What I just described, none of that will happen. UVXY will be back under 1050. The Qs will be up 8 points tomorrow, and we'll be trading the shit out of open because, man, I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see what this stock does tonight. I mean, I have not seen a concerted, is that the word? If you go on Twitter and look at the open, everybody's talking about this stock still. There is such a massive movement to try to get this stock to squeeze. I don't know what they're doing here. The thing just went 50 cents to $11. You won. They feel everyone that's people are saying 50, 80, 120, 200. Come on now. Come on now. But bros and hoes, if this thing faux show bros tomorrow, I'm buying 100,000 shares. No joke. To start. Because it looks like it's about to roll over and die. And if it doesn't, and all these lunatics on Twitter and stock twits and the internet are right about it, I mean, you probably get a pretty damn good squeeze. And the options are freaking cheap. The stock is liquid as anything. And it's just an awesome stock to trade. Plus, it'll be Friday. You'll have Friday expiration on it. Opens. Oh, baby. Look at the contracts they got. Yeah, I thought it'd be more, actually. There's only 10,000 contracts on the 8s, 750s, and 8s. By the way, I got my own mug. This is what I got from this. This is what my wife got me for my birthday. It's me and my dog. What else did I get? I got a pair of Boomba slippers. Pretty cool. Pretty comfy. Bros and hoes. Bros and hoes. Oh, bros actually reported, right? Wait a minute. What screen am I looking at right now? Hang on. Let me put my other screen up. I don't know. I'm just feeling left out right now. I want to be short the Qs. But here's some other ones, right? So, you just got these big stocks that are they're selling off on earnings now. It's blatant. It's about time. Palantir, Oracle, Carvana sold off on earnings. Reddit, right? Didn't Reddit sell off on earnings? Pinterest. Signs are here. Alls I want is 20 more points. Well, I want two things. I need to rally and then roll over 20 points because I got to get short something eventually. Also, SOXL, important to watch. Blow off top. SOXL and the Qs go hand in hand. And by the way, if you don't know about some of these other things, if you can't short the Qs, right, you could buy SQQ and short the Qs. Or you could short the TQQ, which is a leveraged version of the Qs, but it's cheaper. And then you got, all the stocks that are now all these inverse ETFs. By the way, show of hands, was anybody paying attention when I shorted the Qs this morning? Because it's the same trade. I mean, you've never actually, if it wasn't for me just wanting to take profits, I'd still be in because it really never did anything too vital, except I just used the 617.50 as my out right here. And then it rallied and it rolled. I needed to short them again right there, and I just hesitated. But I think we get another chance. But if you were short from here, again, I'm so conditioned to losing while I short that I'm forced to take profit. I'm short 624. I'm covering 622.50, 620, 617.50, 617.50 on the way out. I'm done. All right. The only thing going on. What do you got? You guys anything want me to look at anything before I go? If you guys are still short the snap, you know what you're supposed to be doing here, right? You're covered. You're covered, right? You covered some more. And now you're breaking the 5-day. Hang in there with it and just keep your stop at $8.12 where it broke down from. Lower a little bit. Stay short. Looks like they're just bleeding this thing. And chances are you're going to get the full Monty out of it. But right now, a big portion of this trade should be over. Blue line, orange line. You've got 5 days worth of VWAP. It's great. You cover 50%, put a stop at 812. And, you got 4 hours left. See what happens. You guys looking at anything else? Can you please explain the 1 minute multi-day? Whoa. Yeah, sure. The way that we trade the rigged market is we trade around volume weighted average price and something called multiple time frame VWAP, otherwise known as anchored VWAP by Brian Shannon. Brian's been calling it anchored. He anchors it to specific moments that he finds significant. I discovered that I could just watch just days. So I look at today's VWAP and prior day VWAPs, right? So the 1 minute, 1 day. And if you get an earnings report that goes through today's VWAP and the prior day VWAP, and then goes red or green. So it's the 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. The reversal part is when it actually turns from red to green or green to red. For instance, there aren't any today except for the hood. But the hood trade, you had to be doing this pre-market. So the hood trade, and again, the reason I didn't take this trade is that I have an algo that spits them out for me now. So it gives me a heads up. It wasn't looking at it pre-market. In this case, this is one of the best trades, not of the day, of the year, right? Now, I set my algo to stop watching pre-market because it's a little bit too volatile for the computer to, it starts buying and selling because you can only teach the computer so much. Us humans who have intuition, we came in thinking, oh, hood's gapped up. Oh, it's breaking VWAP in the prior day VWAP. I got to short it. But you see how my algo never caught it because at 9:30, it never breached VWAP. So we're looking for the VWAP breaks because that usually triggers more selling. And then if you break prior day VWAP, that triggers more selling. So you got a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal on an earnings report. That's the trade that hasn't failed in 4 years. The computer missed it. We didn't miss it because we were waiting for it. And then you got trades like, Dash, which, my default is to buy stocks that are gap down, but it never told us to buy it until you got the little fake out, shake out. Now, this isn't a reversal. This is just another style of trading the VWAP. It's called reversion trading. So you're looking for a breakdown. There's the fake out, shake out, reversion to the VWAP. And it's not a bad trade. Faux show, bro. But when you're in a bearish environment, you're going to get most often rejected at VWAP and roll, where the faux show, bro, in a bull day is usually a monster trade because you get the longs out, and then the shorts get all excited down here, and then they're forced to cover. Then you break VWAP, and then the stock starts to rip. On a day like today, you're not getting that follow through to the upside, which is the difference. And the market's what we call a little heavy. And that's it. Is that there's only like 4 things a stock could do. Dip, rip, dip and rip, gap and crap, gap and sit, gap and go. The gap and go sucks because it's a gapped up stock that's already up big and just keeps going. I don't like that. Kind of like Datadog. Right? Just gapped and go. The one short opportunity was here, and it wasn't bad, but man, if you didn't cover, you got crushed. See, that's why this is what the faux show, bro, normally looks like. It breaks down, convinces the shorter that they're onto something, then it turns, breaks VWAP, and rips higher. But yeah, I think we're in trouble. Well, not trouble. I think we're dropping another 20 points from here on the Qs. It might even be today. There's nobody buying stock right now. Trust me. The market's changed. Because when you get a relief rally after a sell-off and then you sell off again, the relief goes from, oh, fuck. So yesterday was a false sense of relief. Today is a big slap in the face of reality, and that reality turns to fear very, very quickly. A la what we're witnessing right now. Plus, you got market leadership being annihilated. Momentum ran out 3 weeks ago. It was just a matter of, like I was explaining, the Qs are the general in the back of the army. You send in the pawns and the knights and the Irish. It's my island. And they all battling it out. The king's hanging out back there. So I never trade options. I always trade options. I just like trading options on Thursdays and Fridays. But I'm generally a stock trader because I feel like I can, it's easy for me to use stops and whatnot. Duh.
Let's see it.
I'm doing a thing. I'll call you in 6 minutes.
Okay.
See ya. No, I trade options plenty. Yeah. Anything you want. I was an options principal back when nobody traded options. That was some boring shit. I mean, option trading was dead 30 years ago. Dead. Nobody traded options. Now it's the greatest thing ever because you got daily options, half point options, weekly options. You got liquidity like you've never had before. Phenomenal. Certain trades, I don't do them because the options are illiquid. Oh, and there's the other trade that we had from earlier. You see, I took a loss on this trade, right? Now, I don't know if I should say the streak is over now because it worked. I just blew the trade. So here's Devon Energy, right? And again, I felt compelled to short it because my dad is a shareholder and I'm sure he doesn't even know what's going on with the stock. That's kind of his thing. But I look at the stock and I see, VWAP break. Prior day VWAP break. This thing's rolling over. And then it broke the half. I'm thinking this thing's going to zero, right? So I shorted it here at the half. And then I got stopped out at 65 and 75 for a small loss. The trade worked. I didn't work in this case. The 1 minute multi-day VWAP trade, it worked. I was the last schmuck in, and it didn't work when I was in it. But now look what's happened. So now, if I would have been paying attention, this is why I'm hiring, so you guys could help me pay attention to some of this stuff. I should be crushing this thing right now, because now you got the finger of God, rollover, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, the trade that I was banking on earlier, and I got faux showed. But that faux show did not bro, it rolled. And I got nothing to show for it because my timing was not right. What I'm saying is, like, this trade, see how it did work. I should have been shorting it here, even covering some here, and I'd have been covering maybe and then getting stopped out for a profit, but I got short at the half because I thought this thing's about to tank, and they ripped it in my face, and I took a small loss. And if I would have revisited it, there's the trade. So again, trading is hard, but this setup makes it easier, right? Or let me reiterate. Trading is hard because we're all, conditioned to do the wrong things. We're very emotional people. But this trade cuts through that shit. This trade is completely algorithmic. So if you trade like a robot, this is where I put my trade on. This is my stop. This is where I think it's going. What do I do when it gets there? I take some profit. I lower my stop. If it goes against me, I get out. That's every trade, right? But if you get in at the wrong price, and you'll blow the trade, even though it turned out to be a good trade, but I lost because I got in at a terrible time. That was me. And again, I had some profit. I'm short at 32.50. And next thing you know, I'm getting stopped out. And that's my story. That's pretty much what we're doing right now. I won't be around tonight, so no schmoozing. Next week, open house, 2 hours every morning, free. Just got to email Spencer or Mary. Get in touch with our crew at my corporate overlords at Stock Market Media. And hopefully, you guys, while you're with us, you make some money. You realize how awesome this trade is. It's November 22nd. We're going to go over all these key concepts, talk about where your entries are, how to place your stops, where to draw the red lines on the pivots, and how to become intimately familiar with the faux show bro and the blow off top rollovers. And then you'll start to see every trade is exactly the same. And with VWAP, not only is it the same, but the risks of the trade are defined immediately, because you know exactly why you're doing the trade. You're shorting stocks that are gapped up on earnings. You're buying stocks that are gapped down on earnings. You're breaking VWAP. You got prior day VWAP. Chart pattern recognition meets VWAP trading. And next thing you know, it's 12 years later, and it's working better than ever. Like, I've never seen anything work like this before. And, again, it's not like you can't lose money, obviously, because I got in at the worst price. But if you get in the right price, it's very difficult to lose money on these trades because you're getting some good follow through. Even yesterday, this KTOS that just went by, it was a pain in the ass. The stock did not want to cooperate, right? We waited. And then we got what we wanted. A little new low break, comes out of the range, finally breaks VWAP. We buy it. And then it goes up and there's the jiggle. And then it rips. It gets to where we think it's going to go. But if you didn't sell it, you lose. So, every one of these trades, that's why we're actively trading the market. thinking, doing it passively. And again, today, a passive short, yeah, you got the 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. You could just sit here and you're like, oh, this is easy. Oh, I just stay short all day. It's usually not like that. Usually you'll have a moment where you've got to do something about it. And that's why I'm at the desk all day, or at least most of the day. And I got to tell you, other than that Q short, my other trades were just mini little scalps. I had to get out of all the trades. I was short ion. I mean, I really chose poorly with the ion Q. I nailed it and still didn't really make too much money on it. And then I shorted again. I got out, made a little bit. And then you had, the data dog, which, if I didn't cover, I would have given back my whole day. And of course, the stock that just went by, Dash, same kind of thing. We were long right here, little short-lived long. And if we didn't sell it, we're getting crushed. So, it's a good example that you have to address what you're doing here. And if you're just, I'll leave you on this note. I could show you a trade that works every single time. Then again, I just gave you an example. If you get in at the wrong time, you're still going to lose on it. You got to know where to get in. But I could show you a trade that works every time, and somehow a lot of people will screw it up. Not only that, right? The idea that this trade's going to continue to work every single time, completely irresponsible. Right now, it's been 4 years. It's unbelievable that it works almost, it's uncanny. But again, I showed you how you can lose money on the trade because if you get in at the wrong price, right? But here's the thing. There's going to be a day where it doesn't work and you take the small loss. And that's it. You have to understand that, when it doesn't work, whatever trade it is, that whole idea of cutting your loss short, that's the most important part of trading there is. It's so cliche, but it's the most key thing. And that's why trading around VWAP, when we're wrong, it's a small loss. Unless you want to jimmy the trade and say, well, I'm just going to hang in there because Kenny says that they never fail. But this one's failing, Jimmy. Do something about it. You can never be complacent about the trade. And by the way, I'm getting what I want right now. Market's trying to put in a little bit of a base. How low could you go? So now I'm not participating in the long. Normally I would right here. Little faux show trying to come out of that bottom range. I'm not interested. I'm rooting for it because I'd like to see it get squeezed so I can roll. I'm staying out of the market right now. I'm going to go, and I got some partying to do tonight. I might just want to take a little, go in my sensory deprivation tank for a little bit, and then I got a big night of music ahead of me. And if anybody likes the Grateful Dead and you are in the tri-state area, we have one of the greatest meetup groups there is in this industry. It's called Wall Street Dead Ahead. Mostly finance people, bankers. We got people from every, but most of us are Wall Street-esque lawyers, bankers, financial guys, traders, algo guys. And it's just a great group of people. You never know who you're going to be standing next to at one of these events. And the woman that runs it is friends with everybody in the industry. So you never know who's going to come to our, we had, what's his name, coming from Teach Rock. Don, hey, how you doing? Van Zant. I don't know if you guys know Steve Sherrard. You guys got the half of Grateful Dead and Company showed up. Jeff Chamati, O'Teal showed up. We're legitimately playing. They play right in front of us in an office. And then the next night, I remember one night, I'm singing with half of the Dead and Company. And then the next night, I went to go see them at the Garden. I'm like, wow, I was just singing with that guy 12 hours ago. It's awesome. And then it's the greatest meetup group ever because everybody's in the industry, and it's a networking group. You meet people that you wouldn't be able to meet in normal life, and that's how shit gets done. Anybody's ever interested, just email me. But yeah, tonight's our big. We do a quarterly meetup where the band shows up. We have a couple of snacks and some drinks. I'm going to meet with my crypto guy also, which is going to be big. You guys know I'm bringing out my own coins soon, and I'm doing it the right way. I'm making sure all I got every base covered. I want to make sure I do it right. I want this thing to work for everybody. All right, so if you guys are long the queues right now, the least you should be doing is covering, because you finally got some faux show action right here. If you come out of this 1250 area, you're probably going to try to go back to the 15. I'm hoping that's what's about to happen. And so I could short it up here, or maybe even at the 1750 area. But yeah, this is it. I hope you guys are having a good day. Most of it's in the books. And if you are buying the cues now, I'm rooting for you. There's your little turn. Hopefully you get another couple of points out of it. So yeah, class is November 22nd. Yeah. And then we got Thanksgiving. And if anybody's trading on the Friday after Thanksgiving, I will come for your soul. Stay in bed. So I think it's like the worst day of trading. I know personally, I don't know. I get up all hungover. I'm like, let me just put a trade on. It always goes wrong. But I'm a different person now. I'm very specific about what I do. So all those superstitions I have. Like I used to, for some reason I used to get beat up on my birthday. I don't know why, but yesterday was pretty good. If you didn't know, I just turned 54. That's right. Look at me. I'm pretty. How you doing? All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Actually, I won't see you guys tomorrow morning unless you join the website. There will be no schmooze, but next week, open house. Email Mary at Stock Market Media, or email me. I'm Kenny Glick at AOL.com. And I hope this rally that just started, you're partaking in it, or like I said, at least cover your Q short. Nice cover down here. And I'm going to be twisting my dastardly mustache because I think we're getting some more selling. Email the company. And here's a secret. Well, I don't even know if they know or not. But if you join the website now, the class is free. Shh. I'm not supposed to tell anybody that. You won't have to pay for the class if you join. I'm going to let everybody in. All right? And it'll be a good first month. And then we'll prepare. We got another week of earnings, which is going to be sick Monday morning, and we get right back into it. Huge list. And then, of course, if you are part of my website and we do this launch of my coin properly, I'm going to make it very, 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 very worth your while to put something in there with incentives. And I'm going to give it some intrinsic value. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we can make some money out of it. I'll give you some incentives not to run for the exits. That's the whole problem. Thing goes up 100%. Everybody's going to want to bail. I'm in it for 100x minimum. But I'll have more information about that probably next week. I'm meeting with some good guys. One guy's legitimately a billionaire, so if I could get him on board, we'll all be all right. I don't think he's going to want to be on board. It's not his thing, but we'll see. You never know. People do have a lot of faith in me. I tend to make people money, so I got a pretty good reputation. And on that note, mic drop. Y'all have a great rest of the afternoon. I am out of here, and I'll see you in the morning. Nice hanging out. Peace.